this is what we have today. It was coming down really hard earlier. It's not coming down very hard right now, but it is still coming down, and we are expected to have more over the next several days.
Hello, and welcome to How I Spent the Apocalypse Blizzard Edition. Okay, so I've been outside for about an hour. Okay, I had to take care of both houses. I have to come over here. I have to make all this shit happen. So I'll talk about it. But first I want to get my clothes off, but I wanted to show you. Okay, now, if you're rich, maybe you have a parka. Maybe you have battery-operated heated gloves. If you're poor, you don't have any of that shit. So you're just always trying to stay warm when it gets to be what it is today, 17 degrees. But the wind chill factor is 5 degrees, and it's gonna get colder. Okay, so everything that is normally easy becomes difficult, and we'll go through all that step by step, but I want to take this shit off first because I'm burning up. Okay, so I have just plain ass cheap jersey gloves. On top of those gloves, the little knitted gloves, and in the middle of that I have warm hands. Okay? Helps keep my hands from freezing off my body. Okay, so that's what I have there. Okay, not fancy gloves, not thermal insulated gloves, 2 pairs of gloves, and hand warmer in the middle, because I was out there an hour. If you're not going to be out there an hour, then you don't have to worry about it. If you're going to be out in it, you have to worry about it. Okay, you know, of course, and I've got my hood up.
Yep.
I have my dumbass hat on. I have my Larry Moen curly haircut. There you go. All right. So I have one jacket. This one, the zipper's broken in, and
but
the pockets are broken in them. But the snaps work, so that's perfectly good. Okay. Before I get completely undressed, I'm going to go out and get something. So turn that off.
Okay.
Okay. So good. I had to quit because I had something I wanted to show you that I left in the shop. And the reason why I remembered, because as I'm bringing the jacket out, the jacket that has a hole in the pocket, I remembered I had taken it out of my pocket, so it didn't go into the hole. Okay, so this ugly ass jacket was courtesy of Lynn cleaning the lockers when she used to teach high school. Okay, so there's that. Then I have this jacket that I got. I actually got this sweatshirt jacket with the hood, and one for Zeb for $5, both of them for $5 at Railroad Damage. So I've got that on underneath there. Then I have a long sleeve shirt on. Then I have a short sleeve shirt on. I have, okay, so what am I wearing? I have a pair of the pants that I always wear over pajama pants. I find that these are a lot cheaper than thermal underwear, and unlike thermal underwear, they don't ride up to your ass, or you can't pull them over your socks. So that's why I do that. Also cheaper, easier. Okay.
Yeah.
And I can use them for pajama pants, which if I try to sleep in thermal underwear, I almost always burn up.
Yeah.
Maybe not the next couple of nights. Okay. So I have insulated rubber boots on, you know, because, yeah, if you're going out in it, Len took a picture so you know what it looks like out there. It's beautiful. I actually love the snow. I actually love it. Because not only is it beautiful, but it's really, really good for your gardens and your pastures. We get a decent snow, which we haven't had in years, and after we've had a decent snow, everything does better. Now, what I wanted to show you is how cold it is. Okay, so I've got on these insulated rubber boots, and as you can see, underneath them, I'm wearing a pair of insulated winter Bombas socks that go all the way up to here. My feet still got cold.
Yeah.
But doubling up on socks is always a good idea. You can stick
The
warm hands down in your boots if you're going to be in it. Okay, so on a farm, which you know this, if right now, if you're anywhere in the Midwest region or the South, where we're getting this huge polar vortex has pushed all this cold air on us, and all the rednecks you live around are saying, don't tell me about no climate change. Where is your global warming now? It's like, hey, dumbasses, this is global warming. Welcome to what global warming does. All right. So that aside, thank God we're all restricted and don't go anywhere. We don't have to deal with those fucking people, right? But if you have animals right now, you know that it's like 3 times as hard to take care of them when everything's frozen. Now, some people have heated water bowls. My wife made me carry my phone with me in case I might get hypothermic or fall. Yeah. That doesn't make me feel like I'm 90 instead of 60 at all. Oh, I'm 61, that's right. Okay. So, taking care of the animals takes like 3 times as long as it normally does. You have to bust the ice, you have to haul water, you have to do a dozen things you don't normally have to do. Now, busting the ice, you can do that any matter of ways. I've used a hammer in the past. The problem with using a hammer is that it splashes the shit all over you. If you use an axe or a hatchet, much better tool. You don't get nearly as much splash and you're not just eating ice crystals.
You're farther away, yeah.
You're further away. It's just a lot of different things. Okay, once you chop a hole in the ice, especially if you're talking about not just the pond but a water container, once you chop a hole in the ice, you can take a hoe. I'm all about hoes. You can take a hoe. That sucked. You can take, I just lost a whole piece of my finger. You can take a hoe and you can pick up the ice and sling it out. Or at least it'll hold it up enough that you can grab it with your fingers and sling it out without getting your whole glove wet, which sucks, by the way. Okay, so you have to do that, and you have to do that in this kind of weather twice a day.
Yeah.
And you always want to, so why am I taking the ice out? Why don't I just leave because first off, you want your animals to be able to actually get a good drink, okay? Second off, if you leave the ice in there, it's going to freeze, your hole's going to freeze up faster, and in a few days, which is going to happen here, when the entire thing is frozen, you're going to have left no hole into which to pour fresh water for your animals to drink.
Right.
So that's another reason. You also want to chop, if you've got ponds, you want to chop a hole in them. Don't be stupid, don't climb out on the ice. Chop the ice over by the edge. You don't want your animals walking on the pond either, especially not if you have cows. I used to work on a cattle ranch, and we had a year that it got so cold that the cows were looking for, and I told my boss that we should bust the ice. And the cows will find water. Yeah, they found water all right. 2 of them climbed out to the middle, the ice collapsed, and they wound up drowning. We had to pull them out in the spring. Let me tell you, it's not pretty. So at any rate, chop the ice, chop it near the edge. Lots of different reasons to do that, but do it every day, because otherwise you've got feet of ice to chop through. And just remember where you chopped. Okay, so that's things that happen. The other thing that happens, I'm going to have to gather eggs at least 3 times today. Okay, at least. And I'm going to show you why. This is what was in my pocket. It's a frozen egg. Yeah. That's how cold it is, people. This egg was laid last night, well, in the evening yesterday, because they don't lay in the dark. But it was laid late in the evening at our other hen house, and I saw her in there, and I was gonna go and get it, and I forgot. It's frozen completely solid to the point that it's cracked.
Yeah.
Okay? This is what happens if you don't gather your eggs. You have to gather your eggs 2 or 3 times a day. What else do you have to do? As long as the snow is falling, you better get your ass out there every few hours and open your gates. Open your doors, open your gates. Because if you don't, you're not going to be able to. So you have to keep open. If you open them every 2 or 3 hours, you can open them.
Yep.
If not, they're going to be frozen shut.
Same thing with car doors.
Same thing with car. Well, if your car's in the weather.
Yeah,
if your car's in a
the weather.
carport or something, you're probably okay. But if it's in the weather, you better go out and open it. You shouldn't be in your damn car anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. But at any rate, okay, so all of this, a bazillion things. One of the things you can do that's nice in the snow is if you got a brush pile, now's a good time to burn it. Especially if you were able to tarp it before this started. Of course, you can't tarp anything where goats are because they will tear the fucking tarp off. I tried to do that, and I could have, but no, they tore the tarp off last night.
Yeah.
But if you tarp it, then you can pull the tarp off, and you just start a fire, and you don't, when there's snow on the ground, you don't have to worry about your fire getting away.
Yeah.
And you don't care that you're making it hotter, because, hello, it's cold. All right, so there's a billion little things, like the porches. This is, because it's so cold, this is a super dry snow. Dry snow, you can just sweep it off. But if you don't sweep it off, and for some reason you get any amount of melt, you're going to have ice sheet under snow on your porch, slick as glass. Slick as glass, fall on your ass. That's a good way to remember that. Okay. So, yeah, I've swept all the porches off. I swept the rails off. I swept everything off. This is one of the reasons I was out in this shit for an hour, hour and a half. I'm not really sure how long I was out in it. Okay. You got to feed, the animals have to be fed extra food. Why? Because they're going to burn extra calories just like you do when it's cold. When it's colder, you burn extra calories. No, people trying to lose weight, don't go run out there naked right now. That is, you will get hypothermic. But it does, your animals need more calories, so you have to feed them more. Like right now, I'm low on hay. I've purposely been feeding the goats cane and bamboo and whatever I could find right up until yesterday because I knew I was low on hay, and I'm going to need all my hay to get us through this because when there's snow on the ground, guess what? There's nothing for them to eat. So they've got to have hay. I also give them rabbit pellets. Now, why do I give them rabbit pellets and not alfalfa pellets? Because where we live, and I don't know if this is true about the country, I think it probably, if you lived close to alfalfa fields, this would not be the case. But where we live, rabbit pellets are actually cheaper than alfalfa pellets. They also have more, they have a bunch of copper in them, and goats thrive on copper. So, and it helps keep them from getting sick in the cold weather, so there's a lot of different things. Okay, so all of that is stuff that you can do. You know, outside it's just that much harder. Everything's that much harder when it's cold. But, like I said, I love the snow. I am so glad we did not get ice storm. Because an ice storm would have completely screwed us over. Because, boys and girls, the gas furnace at the other house went out last winter, and I digged with it all winter and was going to go and get it repaired this fall, but hello, pandemic and no money. Pandemic, closed B&B, no money. All right? So I thought, I've got all these space heaters. They're the oil-based space heaters. They're fairly safe to use. I'll just put them all over the house, and all I got to do is keep it from freezing, because, hello, I have no guests. But if we had gotten an ice storm, I would have been screwed. I would have had to go over there and use the gas cook stove to heat the house enough not to freeze the pipes. Okay, now, so this house we can keep fairly warm. But what did I do yesterday? We still have 4 ricks of wood. That should be more than, we've only burned, and it's been cold, and we've been having to have a fire since September. We've only burned about 6 ricks of wood so far. Now that's not an only. In a normal year, we would not come close to burning that much, okay? But it's been colder, and we have to have the front room open. It's a big bedroom, and we have to have it open because Mother's staying in there. So that extra bedroom has cost us at least 2 ricks of wood. Okay, so, but I still have 4 ricks of wood. But what did I spend yesterday doing, boys and girls? I split a half a rick of wood yesterday because it's stupid when something like this hits. If you have a commodity like that you can get more wood, you should get more wood. Because everybody wants wood. Just saying. Okay, so what are the simple things you can do around your house? Most of you know this, But apparently not everybody is that smart because they were talking about it on the news last night. And some people apparently don't watch the news, so here you go. Turn your faucet to a drip. Not a running thing, if you can keep from it, to a drip. Okay, drip, dribble, whatever. Okay, to keep the water running through the pipes. Now, open your damn cabinet door so that the heat can get in there. You don't have to do it during the day when you're up, because you know that when the temperatures are going to plunge, you're going to be at night. So open the cabinet doors at night so that the heat from your furnace can get. Hopefully you've already done things like covered up your outside faucets, which I told you to do months ago.
Put away your hoses.
Put away your hoses. Disconnect your hoses. You should have already done that before this shit happened. Okay? All that should have been done. Okay? So that's one of the things. You keep it going, keep it going. Okay, space heaters. Okay, so a lot of people right now, they're like, man, I cannot get my house warm enough. Space heaters. If you have alternative heat, then the space heater, turn it off, turn it on. Turn it on when you're up. Turn it off when you're asleep. Turn it off if you leave the house. Again, why are you fucking leaving the house? Don't leave the house. There's a fucking blizzard.
Right.
But here's the problem, isn't it? The same people that won't wear a mask,
Yeah.
the same people that had to go to Christmas and Thanksgiving, it's Valentine's Day today. Where do you want to bet a trillion stupid assholes are going to get on the roads to go out for Valentine's Day? Really? Because here's what these people do. The same people that won't mask, they won't social distance, that get out in the blizzard, that won't leave during the hurricane, that won't go to the shelter during the tornado. They act like they do this because they're brave. They're not afraid of shit. We all live in cringing fear, but they're brave. Really? Because here's what happens to all these brave assholes. We sit and watch it on the news, not those of you that don't watch news, but we sit and watch it on the news. Every time something like this happens, somebody has to go and risk their fucking life to save these fuckers when they get stuck doing what they were told not to do.
Exactly.
So tired of that shit. Here's my thing. I think that if you go to the hospital and you have COVID-19, they should put you on a lie detector test and they should ask you, hey, did you wear a mask when you went places? Hey, did you social distance? Hey, did you go to a restaurant? Did you go to a bar? Did you go to a movie theater? Did you go... Fuck you! Turn around and get your ass home. You didn't believe in it? You thought it was a hoax? You still think it's a hoax? Get your ass home and take some Theraflu. It won't work, but do that and leave us alone. Don't fill our hospitals up because you don't want to do the right thing. Don't fill our roads up and make them impassable because you don't want to stay home in the middle of a fucking blizzard. And then don't expect some guy who works for a living to have to come and get your ass off the road because you didn't want to stay home. You're not brave. People that do that aren't brave. They're stupid and they don't give a fuck about anybody else. Let's treat them that way. Let's start treating them that way. Oh, I'm sorry. You were going to Aunt Selma's house and you ran off in a ditch and now you and your wife are stuck in the car with no blankets, no jumper cables, no kitty litter, no food and no water, and you didn't bring a charge for your phone and it's about to go dead? Too fucking bad. Too bad. Be prepared. If you have to go out in it, if you have to get to work, if you have to get to the hospital, if you have to get out in it, your car should already... My car stays loaded for this. I keep water and K-rations and a blanket and tools and freaking matches in case I might have to start a damn fire. I keep solar blankets in it. I keep regular blankets in it. I keep a plastic tarp in it, for God's sakes. How hard is it? Don't expect to be rescued. Stay warm. Enjoy the hell out of Valentine's Day. Enjoy it. Take your sweetie, do something special. You know, in the house. Where it's cold outside.
Yeah.
Do something special. Just say hello. Just say I love you. How about that? How about that? How about we don't need a day to tell the person that we love them? How about that? And how about we don't show them that we love them by getting out in a blizzard? Until next time, please don't be one of the dumbasses.